All right, do aliens exist, and are they just as curious about humans as we are interested in them? NewsNation special correspondent Ross Coulthart got an inside look at what the American government might know about non-human life in an exclusive interview with a former Pentagon official titled Confessions of a UFO Hunter.
Ross, we're not alone. We are not alone in this universe, and it is a simple fact. And the U.S. government has been aware of that fact now for decades.
That former Pentagon official and UFO hunter Luis Elizondo joins me live. He's also the author of the book Imminent: Inside the Pentagon's Hunt for UFOs. Lou, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. You make a lot of claims regarding UFOs and UAPs, including alien abduction and the government attempting to lure extraterrestrials by using nuclear weapons. What's the response been since NewsNation's exclusive interview aired on Friday?
Well, good morning, and thank you very much for having me. Yes, in my book, I explore a lot of the things that I think the general public have heard about, but really never had any information about. And some of it, there is some substantial information that points that the U.S. government has indeed have a long-standing UFO program and has had this program for decades. Some of the findings, I think, that people will find very interesting is that we did try to recover craft, and in some cases we did. And in some cases, biologics were obtained from those crashes. And just to if I can, just to put kind of a cherry on top of this conversation, my book was approved. It took about a year, but went through the review process of the Pentagon to make sure there was no classified information in there. And it took almost a year, but they finally released the book.
And you allege that the government is conducting experiments on the human brain in relation to remote viewing. What can you tell us about that?
Sure. Well, the remote viewing program went by many names. One of them was called Stargate. Before that, it was called Grill Flame, et cetera, and began really in the late 1960s, early 1970s, led by a gentleman, one of my former colleagues, actually, Dr. Hal Puthoff, who actually worked at the time with Stanford University and created what is now known as the, quote, psychic spy program for the Central Intelligence Agency. And those techniques were quite effective. There's a lot of information to substantiate that, yeah, actually the program did work, even though it was eventually shut down due to budgetary concerns.
You also say that there was resistance to you investigating UAPs. I know you just talked about your book, the process to get it approved. What was the resistance to this?
Yeah, Brooke, it wasn't just me. We actually had an office, and there were actually, what I was surprised to find, that there were other UFO programs running besides ours and before ours. And I think what I found most compelling were some of the videos that you're now showing the audience. But there's some videos out there that are extremely high definition. And when you look at them and you realize that these vehicles are performing in ways that, frankly, outperform anything we have in our inventory, and we're pretty darn sure outperforms anything in our adversary inventory as well, one is forced then to come to the conclusion that if it's not ours and it's not theirs, whose technology is this? And oh, by the way, this technology is finding its way over controlled U.S. airspace and over controlled sensitive military installations, and has the ability to interfere with our nuclear technology.
Lou, if I can here quickly, you made a lot of, profound claims in your book and in your interview with us here on NewsNation, again, talking about remote viewing, conducting experiments on the human brain, alien abduction. What would you say to people who are watching this and are skeptical? What's your response?
Yeah, absolutely. People should always remain skeptical. I think healthy skepticism is important. My background was science initially in college, and then I became a special agent. So I'm very much just a facts kind of guy. I prefer to follow the data rather than opine about something without the data. But in this case, there's very compelling data. Now, as far as abductions are concerned, I discuss it. I was never involved in anything where I had any information to firsthand about alleged abductions. I do discuss it because there were individuals who were very interested in that particular aspect of the phenomenon. My focus was more on the nuts and bolts and how it dealt with our military technologies and how it had the ability to interfere with our military equities.
Luis Elizondo, thank you for joining us on a Monday morning. Appreciate you sharing all of that with us. For all of you at home, be sure to scan that QR code on your screen. It'll actually take you to our NewsNation exclusive that everyone's buzzing about.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.